Welcome to the Hunters Association. Back with the Webtoon anime podcast covering episode 5 of Tower of God. I'm Noxie from Project Manga. That's JD from the TiC GamesNetwork. JC2K2002 from the YouTube channel with the same name. Seraph from Project Webtoon. And Trent motherfucking Money. You already know who the fuck it is. And we are met also with a new guest, the illustrious and very tired primary host of Project Webtoon, Big Sleepy, trying not to fall asleep this stream. You and Trent will get along well in that regard. How are you doing?
Wow.
Oh, after an intro like that, what?
This nigga's legendary.
I had to be petty.
You had to call him out like that. No.
I low-key forgot I did that.
You know.
That was like what, the first episode?
Yeah, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so trash.
Lord.
Oh,
Good
damn.
times, great stuff.
Good times, great oldies. How are you doing, Sleepy?
I'm doing good, man. It's been all good, and I'm just happy to be here with y'all.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Get
This was
started.
a lit episode, bro.
I actually watched it twice. I watched it once before I even came in with y'all in the group.
Oh, yeah. And then you watch it again in
the chat with y'all, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hell
So
yeah,
it
dude.
was some good
Hell
times.
yeah.
But yeah, no, we got a lot to talk about on this one.
Hell yeah, JD, take us into our conversation. Oh wait, do we need some spins from Trent motherfucking Money?
We do
Already
need some
know who the
spins.
fuck he
Probably.
is.
Hey, come on, yeah. Y'all always get me off guard.
Yeah.
Hey, get set, man. Y'all go, somebody put me on a little bit of
I got you,
man.
JC.
Y'all did me wrong right here. Let me see. Y'all doing me dirty.
Come on, man.
It's okay. Your chicken will be fine.
Putting niggas on blast and shit.
Oh.
Yeah, we good? You good? Hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good. Yeah.
Let's get
Hey.
it.
We got at least
There it is.
Big spins.
Let's get it in.
Oh.
Oh man.
He got a whole
All right.
fit. He's ready.
Now you gotta go check on the chicken.
Now,
All right.
run the chicken.
All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another episode of Webtoon podcast, and we will be discussing today's episode of Tower of God. I guess it was the best episode of the season so far, according to some
JC
people.
gave it a 10 out of 10.
Right.
That's crazy.
That is right. JC finally gave a show a 10 out of 10, which is fucking Lord Jesus. Well, since this is the first time I've seen you giving a show a 10 out of 10, you're going first, sir. I need to hear why in the hell,
Why in the hell?
and not last
Give
week's show a higher score. You gave last week's show a 7.5, and last week's show was. So I need to know why is this one a 10 out of 10?
Bro, the music was fucking fire, bro.
Dude, the conversation that like Lororo has with Hang Sung at the end, that guitar riff, I've said it on this show before, but I think that is consistently just my favorite OST that ever plays in this fucking song. that's like in Hunter x Hunter, Mystic Land. If you guys don't know what the Mystic Land OST is, like go YouTube that,
Go look it up.
YouTube search that shit real quick. But that's the one, like whenever they're explaining someone's ability, it's that boom, 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 boom. Whatever that shit is, like that is like my favorite OST from that shit too. Like that OST with the guitar riff in Tower of God is like,
Right.
yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that for me in this.
Bro.
Oh shit.
All right, so we're
Bro.
gonna come back to JC.
So,
All
I don't know if there were about 5 to 7 tracks on that episode, bro, but there was not one misplaced fucking note on any of them tracks, bro.
Nope.
That is true.
It is
And
insane.
all
when you
fucking
can
flat.
like and you can tell like it's like I feel like it's rare in anime when like obviously anime like really care about the music that they use in their shows, but like it's rare when every single song choice that the animators or the directors or the creators of the anime choose for each scene is perfect
Right.
for what's happening in the show.
Yeah.
Like
Them heavenly hums when at the
Yes.
BAM scene. I'm like, what
Yes,
is
bro.
going
That
on?
mode was fire.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
They were not playing. JC, you got the what's the next topic, man?
Yeah.
Or fucking JD.
What do we got?
Oh, I was sending something to Knox. Knox checked on group chat.
How's my connection, you guys? My connection's trash again.
That's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
you going kind of grainy, but
Yeah, the vase.
Am I going
but you're
grainy,
right.
but is my audio consistent?
yeah, your audio's
Yeah, you
fine.
look- You sound
well,
fine.
I mean, I don't give a
Audio
shit, bro.
fine.
It's quarantine.
Okay.
I haven't shaved in fucking 2 months. Like,
Oh, me though.
Bro.
as long as you can hear me, then it's cool. As long
All right. So Trent, what was your thoughts on the episode, bro?
Bro. 10 out of 10, bro.
10. Oh shit.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I don't know if it was the pre-hype I got going into it, but then so I don't know if you guys follow Naya D Hemmings on Twitter or YouTube as well. But he's actually the one who got me into basically webtoons in general. But as soon as I saw JC's tweet, I saw his tweet. He's typically just as critical. So and he was actually critical of that. Like it seemed like he was being critical in his tweet. So I was like, oh, okay. But I ended up opening it up, bro. And like I said, bro, from the music on, it opened up with the lo-fi, from the previous episode.
Yes.
You like, bro, come on, man. It was hot.
And it's so good that the show chose like a jazzy, like lo-fi tone, like to its score, like in the for regularly, and then it goes into like real like Lord of the Rings like esque, like hymns and shit, like
Right.
epic for the really epic moment.
Here we go.
Right.
It's a great balance. It's a great balance.
Okay. Sleepy,
Yo,
my guy. What was your thoughts on the episode?
my thoughts on the episode. So I'm not gonna lie, my day was slow in the beginning, and when this dropped, I started watching it pretty quickly right away.
Yeah.
And right after the first cues, when we see the first battle start to get started, I had to literally stop and go back to work, and I was like,
No.
so I had to sit on that all day. And I have a screen on my right here, and it's just literally on that stop screen the whole time. I'm just like,
no, I need to.
But when I got to it, because Noxie here has put in the chat 20 minutes, we're gonna start watching. I'm like, nah, it's 20 minutes left. I can power through this all on my own. So I went through it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this again with them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I thought
so we started watching it in my server like while you were like still like working or like right after you
Yeah.
got off of work.
Like
or,
you were watching it like the first couple of minutes right as I was getting off of work. But
oh shit! Perfect
Yeah.
timing, bro.
so, but it was that good that I was like, I got to run this back one more time. So much of that actually fit together so well. Like Noxie was saying, the music was perfectly chosen from one scene to the other.
Yes.
The transitions were smooth. I could, if you even just like removed the audio, just like the actual voiceovers, and just played the music, I could
Oh, yeah.
still feel every bit of the tone of what I'm seeing visually.
Yeah,
So
dude.
it was perfectly on point to that.
That's an
but-
I
amazing
like it. I
point
like
there.
it. Yes.
And even going into that, just the animations this time around for all of the fight scenes were spectacular. Nobody felt
Just making
like-
my point. Yes.
like they were static. That was the
Yeah,
first thing I was looking for,
Yes.
especially with those big moves. I was waiting for someone just, all right, you're clearly just a cutout and you're the animatic. None of that. Everybody felt like they had weight. Everybody felt like this was a fight. Like they had something to do here.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
putting in the
was
work.
I was excited all the way through, all the way up into the end. Even when we got into like the miniature argument at the very end of it with Noxie, when someone was trying to say something ahead of the game,
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God, shut up.
"See?"
We got anime onlys in here.
Oh my gosh.
But
Like,
Yeah.
you read the webtoon.
it was crazy.
No,
it
that's
was
my
so
guy.
crazy.
That's my guy.
I know, but it was yeah.
Self-awareness, buddy.
Just a little. Some of us haven't seen it all. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say I definitely agree, Jake. 10 out of 10. This is probably one of the better episodes out of the whole season so far. I'm
Yeah.
not sure where they'll end off at, if it'll get us even bigger, but hopefully the crew is like stays on this level. If they can at least keep this level all the way to the end, I'll know we'll have a solid season and a good start to the next.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Sarah.
I give this episode a fucking 10 out of 10. It was incredible. Music hit, the fight scenes hit, the scene with the Black March when she was like, "Oh, you're about to lose control? Nah, go to sleep."
Yeah.
That shit was tight as fuck. And then like just seeing the Shinsu do its work, you know what I mean? Like when Bam was going apeshit crazy and the Shinsu just did its work.
Yeah,
The vibrancy, the beauty of it was just incredible. Just like the contrast, the lighting, everything was just on point for that scene. It was just gorgeous.
Yes.
It was. All right, let me go ahead and get this out the way.
All right.
All right. So
How are you feeling, bro?
Are you good?
when I first watched it,
Yeah.
I was like, all of y'all are full of shit saying this 10 out of 10. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, all y'all are full of shit. Y'all overhyping the shit out of this goddamn episode.
No.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
finish.
When JC said it, bro, you had to know it's real.
Yeah, you had to know
Right.
what the deal was.
So I thought about it. I sat on it. I was like, you know what? That was just my initial, reaction. Because I did watch it as soon as I got off work. So I was a little tired or whatever. So I was like, let me sit on it. So I sat on it. I still think y'all full of shit. Y'all talking about
Wait. You
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. It was a good episode.
What a twist.
I was gonna say.
It was a great episode.
JD
It was
is a
great
devil's
episode.
advocate for once.
Nah.
It was a great episode. Honestly, I still wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'll give it like a high 9.5 for me personally. I did love the music. I love they showed the boy Urek. I do love that.
I missed that. I'm mad as shit.
How the fuck did you miss that?
Because man, bro, like my son's running around like in the background. I think he like must have like, because I'm on push to talk, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't like interrupt the rest of the watch party, you know, with him shouting whatever he's shouting about. And I think he like came up to me with some shit, you know, and I don't want to be like, get away, kid. So I like want to act enthused about whatever it is. He brought me like a letter or something. He was like, look, it's a letter E or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I like came back and like the scene was over or something like that. I don't know.
Oh my god. But anyway, but yeah, it was a good episode. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of I will give it a strong 9.5.
You're
I
not
love
going to give it a 10 out of 10?
I'm not.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
Now I seem to remember.
Oh
I
shit.
seem
Oh, that's
to
what I'm saying. Somebody
remember
pull out the receipt.
Come on.
that, some people in the group might have
Mhm.
gave the last episode a 9 to a 10 out of 10 on the last episode.
I gave last week episode a 9.
I gave the last episode a 9 or a 10.
I gave the last one a 9.
because dude, like okay, so
go
like
ahead.
so like justification for like the ratings in this series
JC said that.
is because you're kind of like comparing it the adaptation, like you have the webtoon in mind while you're watching the adaptation.
Yes.
So like considering how like early illustrations of these scenes, you know, at least in my opinion, and this opinion is shared among, you know, the community from what I've seen so far, is that the illustrations, especially compared to later illustrations in the series, are kind of like on the lower end of things. And SIU like kind of like had like an issue, at least it seemed like he had an issue with like really conveying the action and like in these scenes that we're getting now, like in his illustration. So when you see the anime go dummy mode on these fucking scenes, how can you not be like, okay, I see his vision now. This is incredible. This is the way that we were, you know, like supposed to consume these scenes. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not be excited about it?
Because it's easy why I can't be excited about it. Because last episode, they had source material they could have drawn from, but they did not draw from.
Well, hey,
And I was looking, I was like, hey, there are plenty of fights here.
yeah.
And the fodder tier got fodder tiered because Rock threw the spear and everybody got knocked down by the spear. Just the wind of the spear. That was all the fights from the last episode they didn't show. That's why I was like 7.5.
Well, we got it now. So
You thought, exactly. That's why we 10 out of 10.
does that change your ideas? And your
No,
thoughts
it
about
didn't
the
change my
previous
ideas.
No, it
but-
doesn't.
But
Yeah, of course
the
not,
fight
but
scene,
It's still 7.5 for him.
yeah, the last one's still 7.5. It was good.
Yeah. And now,
But it
see,
wasn't-
like,
but
I'm
it-
the
but
kind
it
of
wasn't on the
motherfucker-
tier of this
I'm the kind of
episode.
motherfucker that'll get later episodes and
Right.
think back to previous episodes and those things will enhance like my.
That made it
opinions
worse
of
for me
previous
because I'm
things.
looking at I don't want to compare episode to episode, but at the same time they were right next to each other, so might as well. So I'm
Well,
looking
it's
at
fine.
if you call
Yeah.
one a 9 and like a 9 to 9.5, and you see this episode, you're like, you have to put the other one down because this episode was hands down was from start to finish what was up there. They put the budget into it. They put the budget into it.
I mean, I guess that's just me. I think this one was more headed. Like, I think this one was more like meat-headed. So more action, more fights. Which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I love my fights. You know, God of High School about to drop, and y'all already know how that goes. But so I love my But at the same time, bro, I'm just like I didn't get that same vibe from this episode that I got last. Like it was still good. Don't get me wrong, but it was just I just didn't feel that same energy for some reason.
Well, and obviously, like the hype and the quality, you know, is supposed to like scale with the continuation of the series, right? Because we're getting more of the story, we're seeing more of what the series is trying to do. So, like, especially in the very beginning, it's kind of supposed to, like, there can be 10 out of 10 episodes before this, there can be 9 out of 10 episodes before this. But I mean, like, as we start, especially for anime only, start seeing more and more of what this world is, naturally the ratings are going to continue to be in the higher tier. Because you're seeing more of what, you know, that's how I use vision. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you down there as well. That compared to the last episode, some of the energy isn't quite there, and even with the story where it's at, where definitely you see that something that should have been in the last episode was actually used in this episode. That whole wind tunnel thing. I think that more or less they were like, we need to put something in here that'll actually push all of that energy forward, because you know one big thing that we got from this episode is definitely with Bam displaying his first big use of power, which I don't even know if we want to go that far, but even from the webtoon we actually never see that. That's not a physical thing.
I literally was gonna say I don't think I remember that.
I literally, after watching that chapter, went back to that chapter and started going through it and went,
glad you said that, bro.
In the original bit he didn't do that. And I think that
we're talking about the differences here too, because like that was one thing that I like was kind of like relying on Sleepy and JD for, is because I feel like I don't remember half.
Why does he hate me so much?
Me either.
Why does he hate me so much?
What do you mean?
I literally I'm reading it right now.
He literally just read through this. Like,
I read through this shit too.
I'm Naruto, you're Sasuke, bro. I'm Naruto, you're Sasuke. That's how it is.
I'm sorry. Okay, and JC,
no,
2K 2002 from the YouTube channel with the same name.
Oh man.
I wanted to get you guys' fucking like input on the differences, because I don't remember a lot of these things, and you have to keep in mind, like when it comes to the decision making that the studio is making in this adaptation, you have to keep in mind that there are anime onlys here. So like the anime only people need, you know, these glimpses in this first season that they're trying really hard to capsulate people and capture people's attention with, that they have to make executive decisions on when to do things outside of the source material for those anime only people, because a lot of what makes this story great happens in the first season, don't get me wrong, but like the real later, Tower of God shit that really has people going crazy about this series happens in later seasons. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to go crazy in a 13 episode first season in ways that you're just not going to see in that source material in a story that is probably going to be 800, 900, over 1,000 chapters long. It takes a long time to like establish that, you know, overarching dynamic that like really shows you how great the series is. So if you're only going to be covering the first season in 13 episodes, you have to pull from those future moments in ways that are not spoilery and that are not way outside of the realm of like what happens in the actual first season. You need to like do things that are going to ensure that people are here for the second season and that people are ranting and raving about that first season. So I'm not upset with the decision that they made to show Bam's like Shinsu explosion here at the end of this episode. Is all I'm saying.
Speaking of that explosion, all right, I want to get y'all thoughts on this, because as we all just stated, that did not happen in the correct
in the webtoon. Yeah.
All right.
At least not visually to us. We do know something happened.
Yeah, because in the webtoon, he gets hit in the back of the head and then he gets knocked out and then that's it.
Well, actually, in the webtoon, he does get in the back of the head. He starts to pass out. That same scene you see where him apologizing to Kun, the screen starts to go black and white. That occurs. That's the only scene we get, and then we just get a scene of a broken mask and then her holding her face. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's no.
And one thing that I noticed, dude. Oh my god. Okay.
What's up?
For literally 10 seconds, what anime only's like plug your ears. That's fucking. Wait, how far are you, JC?
Second season.
Season 2.
How far into the second season are you?
Good question.
What you like on episode 9?
No, I'm way past that.
You're deep in the shit, right, Trent?
I'm in. I'm only.
No,
in
him and JC about one
the
more.
first half of season 2.
The dude with the hat with the baseball.
Do you know who,
the baseball.
Oh, okay. You got baseball, dude.
Do you know who Hua Ryun is?
They should, yeah.
I'm not good with names. What do you look like?
Red hair.
No, I don't need to go into it. Never mind. This isn't a spoiler. Right. I'm not going to do it. But wow, though. If you know, you know.
If you know,
but I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that in the when I first went through the webtoon.
So my thing was what I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
Is when Lororo said Bam literally became Shinsu itself.
Yeah.
So what are y'all thoughts on that? Because me, I was like, oh, that's obviously new. That's something we, haven't heard of. Even like reading, the webtoon, like they never said somebody can become Shinsu itself. They just always said he's very gifted.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's like I was like, so are they trying to foreshadow some extra curricular things that's supposed to happen down the line or something? Or
there was the anime is spoiling the webtoon?
Well, not really. No.
I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying like something brand new that they're saying somebody became Shinsu itself.
In the webtoon, they do make a mention of him controlling it, and that it's something that no one's done without the permission right away. But no one's actually physically, no one's actually physically become it. A few comments I did read way back then did bring up this like small detail, and a lot of people referred it to like that he may be like a Jedi, like Anakin or something, where there was nothing, and then Shinsu actually made him.
Okay.
Because it needed to.
That's a really big deal for the story, and for us to get that in the anime first is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just planting the seed to get people to think, because it really, after that whole bit, it does not come back up again for a while.
And at the same time, it's like none of us really like are fluent in Japanese, but at the same time, like Crunchyroll translations
Korean.
or Korean, but specifically here, because Japanese, like creators are adapting this. Like Crunchyroll's translations are kind of cheeks sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be like I studied Japanese for 6 years. There are times where I hear, words or sentences in the actual verbiage, in the dialogue of the characters that are speaking them, and then don't get some words or sometimes entire phrases and sentences in the translation. And it's very weird, like seeing that sometimes for Crunchyroll. It's a very weird thing for Crunchyroll to do, being like the primary anime streaming service. You know what I mean? So I've always like felt weird about that, about their decision making there.
I think it's going to be kind of difficult for that, because they have to translate it from one language to another language and then translate that again into our language.
That's right.
So there's so many like
translations.
Even in tried and true like Japanese stories that they're translating, they be missing like crazy.
Well, no, because there's some phrases and words that we don't have, and of course in Hangul, and some phrases and words they don't have.
That's the arguments that I get into with like hosts on like my show. Is that like the Viz translations? You know what I mean? Like instead of trying their best to like tell us like an inside like Japanese like joke and explaining it the best way, they just replace it with some dumb American joke. And it's like I understand that you're like translating this for American audiences, but it's like American audiences are watching this shit and they're not going to get it, and that's why they make the decisions that they do. But it's like, I am an otaku, or I'm a weeb, or whatever you want to fucking call me, because I'm into Japanese culture and I'm into the Japanese language, like most people who are watching anime. So it's like I don't need a like watered down American joke. Like just do your best to put a translator's note in there, or try your best to like explain what the translation means if you think that American people aren't going to get it. It's like, why would you just like think like, oh, I'm just gonna replace this with like some American shit that people will get just because it's American people watching it? It's like, that's weird shit.
I have questions.
What
was the original question again? Because I totally.
The original question was, what did you think about them changing it to saying Bam literally became Shinsu himself.
Yeah.
That was the original question.
Your mic is JD. Your mic is like kind of like cutting out like periodically.
Just a
It
little
is?
bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
like at the end of like your sentences, sometimes like you'll just get like no audio.
All right, I'll try to fix that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of had to do it, to be
Did
honest. Yeah, I think they kind of had to do it because if you haven't read the webtoon and you're just going off anime only, what do you see Bam as? You see him as basically a useless character. I mean, he's people like him because he's nice and he's honest, he's sincere, but as a main character, he hasn't done anything. He just sits around. You can
see his potential though in the dialogue of characters around him. Like when Lororo does the Shinsu wall and he doesn't push Bam back, and Bam was like, "Oh, my bad, I can go run over to the other side," and he was like, "No, it might have been a mistake, but if not, but if it was, then that's your luck." And then in his inside of his internal monologue, he was like, "This is a monster."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you get little hints here. Yeah.
I would definitely say both to your points, Knox and JC, that's exactly why that they're probably doing it the way that they are. Bam's character just in this is very changed. He's not entirely as passive as he is in the webtoon. He actually does have a tiny bit more agency. He shows fear, which is something that the webtoon never really displays for him. And I think that's why they're going with this path of just trying to like let people know how powerful he is, especially with, Leroy telling him like always having that internal monologue of like, something's different about you compared to other irregulars. You're just a little bit more scarier than most. Right. So I think that's kind of why they're doing this. But like to you, what you were saying with that, he's not really he doesn't have a lot of the main character staples. He's not actively doing something in the story, but it seems like everyone is praising him for doing things that we technically don't really see, but he just does because.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, JC. First off, how does my mic sound now?
You sound good. I can hear you perfectly fine. Everybody else?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah. Am I still cutting in and out?
Oh no, you're A1 steak.
No, now you're good.
All right.
A1 steak.
So when I'm going without going to spoiler territory, because just a little bit ahead, you see Bam going through this thing. You see everybody kind of crowding around him as the main character, and he don't know anything about Shinsu. He hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
So as an anime, I think the anime's done it better because at this point, when he has the whole Shinsu episode, I mean, people were getting blown back. I mean, like they're actually noticing Bam, like this character who has been literally nothing when it comes to fighting, just been a nice character that everybody likes to be around. All of a sudden, now he has power, and now everybody's seen he has power. So this gives Bam like some validity for the rest of what's coming up next. He might not be able to control it right now, but at the same time, everybody saw the power, and now the audience that's seen the power, like, okay, when is it going to come back?
And what does that like do? Like, and honestly, okay, so this is a really good question, JD, because like now that people are seeing this Shinsu explosion coming from Bam inside of the story, so Hatsu, Anak, everyone who's present there sees this Shinsu explosion. What does that mean for their characters moving through the rest of this first season? Because this is a planted situation here that didn't happen in the webtoon. Obviously, these characters are going to have to react to that in later episodes. Otherwise, what did you do it for in this public way? So now that's creating more non-canon moments inside of these characters moving forward.
Right, Trent. I got
well, unless they
Trent, go ahead, Trent.
Unless they really just brush it off as something maybe to do with the Black March or yada yada yada.
That too.
Because the Black March moment.
Yeah, Black March was there.
But at the same time, I don't. Well, I guess they did all see the Shinsu. Maybe I don't know if maybe all of them were able to see it as clearly as Lororo was able to see it, and us as the viewers were able to see it. But maybe of course it could be chalked up to the Black March. But continue.
Trent, you and JC are rereading it right now, correct?
Right.
I'm not rereading it. This is my first time.
Oh, okay. So you're reading for the
my first time.
Okay. So, but still, you guys are further ahead than this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on the first 20 chapters.
Before you go into
good.
Put a good spoiler, like
I'm not going to spoil anything. This is more just to declare where they are. So, just knowing where this goes for later in the story, or even just right after this, they probably have more validity to play with some of the characters now because we saw that they physically saw that reaction.
Yeah.
And in the story, there is a few scenes right after that where we have some characters kind of react to Bam.
Yes, that's
but now everybody else can kind of they can bring that together with having everyone else react and have it make sense. Because a lot of people just kind of brushed it out.
Yes, and as far as I'm gonna like very vaguely touch it, as far as towards like where the end of season 1 goes, it'll make more sense for why some of the things start to go in motion. Towards that final kind of like test or whatever. Yeah. Now,
very much.
One of the other things I wanted to kind of ask you guys, for the guys who are, back with the main group in the Webtoon. Does Coon still have niggas in the bag? I was watching this episode. I'm like, hold on, the niggas get back in the bag? Like, I'm like,
no, they walk back.
No, they're not in the bag.
I'm like, are there still other niggas he haven't pulled out?
That's the only time he's ever done that.
Yeah,
I think that's a one and done trick for him.
He's never put people in
never
bag.
Pulls it out again.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna put anybody else in the bag, bro.
Like, there could be niggas waiting,
but it would be super cool
months
to
in
see
that
him
mug.
do it.
Oh, dude, and you want to know what? I never even thought about it until right now, but like that's totally why he had an issue getting through the Shinsu wall.
Yes,
I mean, that's he explained it
bad.
in the anime that's why he had an issue.
I don't remember that like flashback to like his conversation with Hang Sung in the door test in the webtoon.
That was in Webtoon too. Yep.
Was that in the webtoon too?
Well, it happens like right at the
like
same.
Idiot, and I just like don't notice those things.
Well, they don't do.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Lothar in the chat.
Are we ever gonna find out like why he didn't fucking get his bag through?
Yeah, they don't flashback though. What's up?
There's a shout out to Lothar in the chat, but go ahead, keep going.
Go ahead.
So what I was thinking is there is something that comes up a little bit. We can't get into spoilers, but there are people that react to Bam and his power, and this kind of him showing his power so early gives credence to why certain people might have an issue with his power. And I can't tell you who it is, but you know what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
And that gives credence.
We know exactly who you're
that gives credence to why this person might be, angry or whatever.
Jealous.
Yes. Of Bam.
A straight hater.
It gives
Haters don't hate.
Almost all of the reasons that end up happening. Like all of the motions that get set are way more visual now that we know this. Definitely pro over the webtoon, because even with the webtoon, with us not seeing it, you still get kind of a vagueness of why they're doing what they're doing, and even then at the end of it, you're just like, he hasn't done anything super special. So but after seeing something like that, I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't want that motherfucker on my football team after seeing that. Like, it's like, no, y'all can take the next 5 people. I got him.
Yeah.
Facts. All right, so, y'all. I got this real question, bro.
Real questions. What it is?
I feel we need to discuss this because I've been seeing it going around.
How you cut out
Hold
again?
on, you're right. Your mic's cut out again.
Put the lips on the microphone.
Just give it a sweet kiss.
How about now? Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. Nigga. All right. But for real though, y'all stupid.
You
All
look
right.
so comfortable in that position. Oh, I'm kidding.
All right, but for real though. All right. So the question I've been seeing going around the community, Bam is the biggest simp in history. I just want to correct. I just feel we need to correct this and explain why Bam isn't a simp.
Wasn't that heavily controlled?
We should wait until the season's over because, like,
bro,
you could do it now, but like at the same time, it's like I feel like it's meant. I feel like the anime onlys are like meant to like think that right now because they don't. How are they? They're not. But
honestly,
I'm just thinking about the end of the season, and I know that
it could be.
Really gotta think about Bam.
I mean, they kind of are because
he didn't know anybody before Rachel,
and you gotta.
We didn't know anybody even existed.
Yeah,
exactly. So how is that a simp? She raised the man.
Yeah, simp is wrong. Simp is wrong no matter what.
Rachel is more so like a mother or big sister type shit.
He's
okay.
He's literally every single role possible, or she's literally every single role possible.
Exactly.
Other person that she ever met. So like, simp is wrong in every regard because it's like, what would you do if you never saw anybody your entire life and you woke up in a fucking cave and the first person you see after who knows how long is a fucking girl that you're obviously going to fall in love with. You know, it's not like you're used to people and used to women and are choosing one to simp for. You have no choice but to love this person. So, yeah, go ahead.
And bro, my bad. This is gonna throw the whole track off, but I just want to rewind. So just a thought I had. Did you guys infer that Bam is basically like God, or like you said, pure Shinsu? Like he's like a manifestation.
My comment. Yeah.
At that point, basically like a manifestation of just Shinsu itself experiencing life. Is that what like the implication is?
I made him the comment like he's kind of like Anakin from Star Wars. He literally, he just never. There wasn't anything, and then bam, just appeared.
And the Phoenix Force is sleepy. The Phoenix Force is just a massive energy that's trying to have a two-dimensional experience.
Pretty much.
So, like, you know what I mean. So
he's basically the Celestials. He just.
Chill.
That's crazy.
Someone in my circle was talking about how like. They're gonna make Bam way more OP in the anime than he is in the webtoon, and I was checking him I checked him. I was like, bro, like all of this stuff is still kind of like happening. Like the effect is the same. It's just way more flashier because it's an anime. But this scene right here kind of like makes
you think that.
Yeah, it makes you think like, no, this motherfucker really had a point because it's like if you're Shinsu incarnate, then like. You're the god of this world.
Yeah, what stops you? What stops you?
Yo.
At that point.
That's crazy.
I just wanted to get that question out the way, you know, because it's been annoying the shit out.
That's a great question.
It's a good question. I definitely would say it would be something for the end of the season. I will agree that in the beginning for the webtoon and all the way through it, simp is probably a better use term there just for that. Here, not so much. You're getting a lot more showing off. Like, yes, like Nox said, Bam literally had no one else. And I don't mean by the fact of he got put in there by somebody.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any life experience.
Exactly.
And this is the first person he sees and he imprints on her. So unlike a simp, he doesn't want any sexual favor or anything like that from her. Yeah, it's literally a mother to a son.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what I'll be trying to explain to people. Like, bruh, she taught this man how to read, taught this man how to write, taught him what's right from wrong.
Yeah,
all of this stuff.
Yeah,
and like that is not a definition of a simp, which I think the definition of a stupid anyway.
Motherfuckers just want to say simp because it's a guy who's chasing after a girl.
Yeah,
like when you look at it, on the surface level like that, it's like. We're all like so many characters are fucking simps if you look at it like that. You know what I mean? And it's like in Bam's situation.
This nigga was gonna say we're all simps.
I was gonna say that.
God damn.
What'd you say?
Hey, you want to know what? But I reeled it back. Okay, but like that ass though, it's like look at Bam's situation. Put yourself in that situation. What would you fucking do? Are you, and you know what I'm saying? If you want to call yourself a simp, then like you just don't know what a simp is. But like it makes so much sense what Bam is doing. It's definitely not extracurricular his interest in Rachel. You know what I
think it'll be after those later episodes. If they change some of those later episodes, that title could definitely change. For the webtoon, it was a long while of a few things I was just like, okay, life is now washed over you, and it's a little hard to kind of disagree to that. At some point you got to say you're no longer a boy. You're no longer there. You're a man.
Bro. A boy has the right to dream.
There are some endless possibilities.
There, a little bit of outlaw star,
and also chase the stars. But all right. Well, let's move on, y'all. We deviated so much. All right. Next topic. What do y'all think is going to happen for episode 6? Do y'all think it's going to follow source material?
I think
or do y'all even remember anything that
I remember the source material after this because I'm not going to say what it is, but like I think that it has no reason not to follow the source material after this. We might get like one scene like dedicated to the conversation about the Shinsu explosion. But like because obviously that has to create more non-canon moments, like I was saying before. And if I'm wrong, great. But like if I'm wrong, then that means it's like really awkward that Roro or whoever made that comment about Bam becoming Shinsu itself would even make that comment. or why they would even put that scene in there. So like that scene has to create more non-canon reactions to that scene. But outside of that, I think that it'll flow perfectly fine into the source material.
All right.
Yeah, I think this will be an exposition.
Go ahead, Sleepy. Okay.
Yeah, I think this will be the next one. Will be an exposition episode. It'll be a cool down because it's kind of hard to keep that kind of hype energy going consistently like that. There has to be that low point in order to give everyone room to breathe before we get back up.
Right.
All right. Trent, what's your thoughts, homie?
Bro, at first I said I didn't remember, but you know what? I realized that one of my favorite and / most hated characters is about to be introduced.
Who?
Into the dailies from this season.
Not Quant.
Sheep nigga.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh, no. Wait, who?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about that when the anime covers it because that dude.
I want to hear that video.
Great point of conversation for us.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, Trent's most hated character. I remember.
Bro, that nigga.
Dude, I agree with you. I thought you were gonna say Quant. I was gonna have a heart attack.
Nah, bro, and you know what? That gets into the because at first I was only thinking again, like, damn, I can only remember the final game, but then I remember the game with Quant. That shit was dope.
Yeah. I didn't see.
Bro, that shit gonna be tough.
Bro. And remember when we were talking in the expectations episode about like what our favorite moments that we're expecting for I was like hide and seek, baby. The crown game is tight, bull test is tight, but like hide and seek is what I've been like waiting to see.
My favorite was the bull test.
Yeah, and bull test is super, but hide and seek, bro, was like a different, like it was like the first time
a different type of hide and seek.
It was a different type of hype, like for the rankers, right? It was the first time we really saw a ranker like activate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was our first like glimpse at like what rankers could really do, and it was crazy to fucking see that. I cannot wait till we get that adapt.
All right, JC.
I don't know.
I see that. What do you mean? You just read it.
I don't know about what. Is that
the sheep nigga?
That's not hide.
The goat.
Hide and seek. Sorry,
that nigga is the goat.
He's following y'all on the other conversation.
Yeah, I'm looking at chat.
Bro.
Like, sheep. Oh yeah, that hide and seek. Okay, I was like, what are you talking about?
No, but the sheep nigga is low key is still a goat. Like,
hey, the sheep nigga is definitely like kind of a goat, but at the same time, it's like you gotta hate him.
Yeah, his involvement, like he's a good villain. Like you're supposed to hate Orochimaru, but like that nigga is the goat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Is he?
I never really hated Orochimaru.
Bro, what? Orochimaru be nigga. That nigga is invincible.
I never really hated that nigga.
I mean, Sasuke kind of washed them though.
Bro, to the point where this nigga has done all this stuff and he's still alive and kicking in Boruto. Niggas don't touch Orochimaru, nigga. Niggas don't touch Orochimaru, nigga. It don't matter. He's untouchable. Bro, yes, the nigga's untouchable.
I knew he had a son in Boruto.
No, Naruto lets him ride, bro. The nigga, he don't come for him or nothing. It's just like, yo, you know what, nigga, we straight.
Dude, Orochimaru was like totally the Naraku of fucking Naruto. Like,
how many times did he get beaten? You know, he got beaten by Itachi. He got beaten by Sasuke.
Am I lying, bro?
Not really.
You not.
God.
That motherfucker would pull up, do some shiesty shit, you know, and someone made a fucking funny ass comment on one of our like episodes on my show. They're like, man, I'm so tired of Naraku showing up, putting the bees out so Moroku couldn't do some shit. Everyone would attack him. He would throw some branches and then run away. And I was like,
bro.
Yo, that's every fucking episode, though.
Throw some branches and fucking run.
He was Claw, man. He just like, oh, I'll come back and get you next time. And it just ran off. I'll be back.
Yo, Seraph, what you think about this?
Yeah, well, what you think? Yeah, gonna happen next episode, Sarah.
Next episode. I just think it's gonna be a cool down episode. We're just gonna get all these people just sitting there eating lunch together. Some of them are gonna check up on Bam. You know,
dude, I can't wait for. It's
gonna be one of those slice of life high school episodes where they all just eat lunch together like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna stay close to the source material. Like Nox said, they got to address the whole Shinsu thing. There's no way that everybody's gonna be sitting at the lunchroom table looking at Bam like, "Hey, bro, you good? Because how you do that?
Homie?
I didn't even do this like a long time ago. You had this type of power. You have to use it at some point." But he's been sitting there with the Black March. Speaking of the Black
You
March,
could have ended our whole careers.
Did
Oh,
that,
dude,
okay.
we didn't even talk about
did
Yeah,
the
we
anime-
ain't-
okay,
we
did
yeah,
the
we didn't
anime-
get to the Black March.
Okay, did
My
the
favorite
anime
moment in the
do
entire
that
episode
scene better?
Yes, yes, absolutely. My favorite moment in the entire fucking episode is Anak coming into their fucking space and talking to Bam about the Black. 100%. I love her character. If you got the Japanese, like her character design, first of all, I haven't talked about it on here, but if you got the Japanese Bob, I automatically love it. Okay. Like, you are automatically one of my favorite. And so,
Knox, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about
That
this
was last
Bob haircut
episode,
on a
Knox.
knock.
We're talking
The
about this
haircut,
episode. That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about what are you talking about?
What do you mean? I'm talking about Anak Jihad.
Yeah, well, we're talking about.
Yeah, what space are you talking about? What space did she come in?
She's
talking about coming into there.
Into their waiting.
He's talking about
space for
the last
game.
episode.
You talking about the last episode?
Wait,
That was
wasn't that
episode
this
4.
episode?
No. That's why I'm looking like, what the hell are you talking about?
That was the last episode, homie.
I thought I was tripping.
This episode opened with them on the chair.
I thought I was tripping, bro. I'm like,
It's because you watched both.
Yo,
Because you watched both episodes at the back.
Shut up. Players fuck up.
hey, real quick.
bro, you got me tripping. I was sitting there like, wait, did I miss this?
No. Okay, so we didn't talk on the last episode about my favorite part of the last because I don't remember talking about that scene. But
We're gonna get into it now.
well. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Another thing I didn't say about Anak is that I love her character design, and the fucking Japanese bob haircut are just always my favorite fucking characters inside of anime. Sorry, continue, guys. Don't mind me.
So, on this episode,
What were your favorite?
so this
parts?
episode they changed how Bam, the ending scene for Bam, they changed it.
Yeah.
The Black March
Yeah.
showed up, she kissed him on the cheek, nigga passed out.
So wait, we didn't even see the Black March do that shit at all. That was
No.
all.
Anime original content.
That was all anime.
That's the second time the Black March showed up.
The Hennessy from last week finally kicked in.
So do you guys think that part was a good change for the
Oh yeah, it
series?
was definitely a good change of pace.
It's cool. I mean, I didn't feel any type of way, but I thought it was a nice little added.
Yeah, it's a good added segment. You know,
Yeah.
like it gives more character to the anime for the anime only people. So that's what's really nice about that. But the best part is when Rack went Saishoku!
Yo,
Yeah,
Rock,
dude, straight up.
Right. First comes Rock.
I had to bring it up because that
Saishoku.
scene was so tight. And
Bro,
he's
I
like,
thought he was
"Rock
going to do
again!"
the whole thing. I'm not even going to.
John? Kid?
I thought he was going to do the whole thing. I was like, oh.
Yo,
That was
That
the
mo
best
was tight.
fucking scene because all I thought was gold. I was like, damn, they really hit it with it.
That was tight.
Nah,
All
I
right.
needed it. I needed it because if you're gonna
All right.
change the story,
That's that
up,
comedic bit that we needed in there. High
Yeah.
key.
if you're gonna change
Facts.
the story up, you got to go 100% with it. If you're gonna, do the whole Shinsu thing, you got to have the Black March come in. If you're gonna change it, you're gonna change it.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
why. That's why Knox is a 10 out of 10.
Like, for
Yeah.
that scene,
Well, okay. And like moving into our rankings of the episode, which I'm assuming is like something that we want to start talking about. It's like when I watched this episode in my server, I wanted to give it like a 15 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? And, like,
Mhm.
I'm like a hype, beast, hype demon type motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm riding the high, of an episode that
This nigga said a hype demon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was 10 out of 10, that was 11 out of 10, that was 12 out of 10. But I mean, like after like calming down and like really thinking about it from like a critical standpoint, I have to give it I still want to give it a 10 out of 10, but like I have to give it a 9.5. You know what I mean? Just because there's that like weird.
I think
filler
you're being a
moment.
contrarian right now, and I don't like it. It's
All right.
Say, dude.
He's mad because everybody's switching.
Switching,
Well, dude,
switching points.
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Like now that like when I actually like sit down and like think about it, it's like, okay, as someone who like usually puts source material over any adaptation, no matter how good it is, there's very rare occurrences where I'll put an adaptation over source material, like I don't know, Hunter x Hunter is probably the only one that I can think of off the top of my head right now. But like when you're putting like extra shit in your shit that like didn't really happen, and it like skews my like forethought of the series moving forward, like the Shinsu explosion scene, it like takes that score down. But besides that, it's a 10 out of 10 episode. So that's why I just had to give it a 9.5, like from like a from a critical standpoint. Yeah.
Well, y'all know my score. I gave it a 9. Same as last week. Same as last
Yeah.
week.
My
Yeah.
God. Who are you people?
Trent.
Anybody?
Trent. You there?
He is muted.
Okay, he went to go get his chicken. All right.
Chicken time.
No, I'm here, bro. My bad.
Oh, you here? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thought you went to eat chicken. All right. So, well, what was your score on the episode?
No, what'd you say, bro?
Well, what was your score on the episode?
10, my nigga, 10.
Thank you.
10.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't.
Speak
Okay,
to
it's-
these niggas. Please.
Yeah, honestly, like, what? I have nothing to complain
I
about.
stand behind my 10.
So like you're totally fine with like the added like filler moment.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I'll
obviously,
wait to the end.
obviously
I'll wait to the
was
end.
hype.
it didn't
Obviously,
throw
so,
me
like,
off, bro, because I honestly
like,
didn't remember.
It's not well, okay. So like if it didn't throw you off for the episode, then 10 out of 10 makes sense. But like I feel like a lot of my score comes into like what I'm expecting for the next episode. And like
I'm just
that like confusion of like what that scene means for like the rest of the adaptation, like give you like an awkward like I don't know,
No,
it gives
because
me anxiety.
No, because we only have 12 episodes, 12 or 13, whatever the fuck. So
13,
it's gotta make sense. So we have to like they kind of said, catch people up. You know what I'm saying? And though it was different, it still wasn't like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And it's going to ruin everything. It's just basically it puts Bam on the radar. You know what I'm saying? For some than others. And that's incoming regardless. But the thing is, we're gonna get. I'm surprised at how long we spent on the crown game, and how much of the in that 13 span, how much this took up. You know what I'm saying? So in the next wrap up, we're gonna get back to that 2 or maybe, or I guess we don't have that many, but we're gonna get through not only that like chill training time, but we're gonna get through some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because not only do we have the games to get through, we got the sheep nigga shit to get through. We got all the mystery and all that other kind of crap to go through.
Twists and turns for this.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right. Which is why that was gonna bring. I think they're speed through this hide and seek. I think the training probably gonna be like a montage type thing.
Probably.
Because they gotta speed it up. They have to get there.
They gotta.
But they definitely have to like spend time on like the wave controller section.
Yeah, I think they're gonna explain it,
time.
but as far as like them maybe like trying to practice and use, I think that's gonna be like a montage, and they're gonna get through that as quickly as possible. Because the biggest part of season 1 is the bull test.
Yeah,
that's like the last 30 chapters or so. Is it like the last 30 or last 20?
No, it's like 15, bro.
Like 15, last 15?
It's like 15 chapters of
15.
30
Okay.
chapters of the bowl test. That's ridiculous.
Look, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, okay? Give me a break.
Okay? I'm a lot newer to the bowl test, yeah.
Yeah. So they got a lot to catch up on, get back into the swing of things before the season ends. But Sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, what's your rating on the episode, bro?
I'm gonna still stick with the 10 so far. And my basic reasoning for that is even though the source material was changed slightly, and not so much changed as like they took something off, but they added something just to kind of give a little more context. I don't feel like it hurt the episode in any way. Like I would definitely be against it if it like completely shifted everything in the episode and I just was like, I don't know what the hell I'm watching anymore. But yeah. And Noxie is just losing his shit over there.
Yeah, because the chat. Someone's having a chat. I can't click on it because y'all will hear it, so I can't click on it.
It's the chat. My bad.
JC, when you heard Nox's reasoning.
Yo, y'all click it. Click the link. Click the link.
It, but
Bar for bar.
Took my whole flow. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm ready.
This is a way bigger moment of filler.
SpongeBob, I'm ready.
This is a way bigger fucking moment of filler than JC's reasoning for his ranking in the last episodes. There were things left out. Yes, there are. This Shinsu explosion has way more implications for the future of the story than them just leaving out fights in the last episode.
Man,
like our reasoning is not even close to the same.
Okay, so using your logic
of
SUI.
Oh Lord.
And his early drawings and artwork, you were saying that he could not, with his artwork, kind of show what he really wanted to show.
He could show that if he wanted to.
But
he could show the Shinsu explosion if he wanted to. He didn't because it's not supposed to be there.
It's definitely supposed to be there.
Is it? Was that implied at all in the webtoon?
Like you said in earlier episodes, do you think they just put it in there without consulting him and saying, "Hey, did you mean for this to happen?" I'm asking you. You said this. This is your words.
I did say that.
Oh
I
my
did say
God.
that. And you want to know what? That makes sense.
Yes.
That SIU obviously approved this extra scene.
Right.
But his reasoning to include this extra scene is probably not the same kind of like reasoning that he used to remove like action scenes from the previous episode. You know what I'm saying? Like these are two completely different moments. Even though SIU approved both, it doesn't mean that like I don't know. I feel like our logic still isn't the same there, and I'm having a hard time articulating my reasoning.
I mean, it's only it's only a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it's like it's not a 7.5. Let's put it That's number one. It's not 7.5 like I did.
So these things don't affect me to the same degree that they affect you.
Because from every episode we've done so far, I'm looking at the webtoon and just scrutinizing it against the anime. Like they changed this, they changed this, they didn't put this in there. I've been doing that every episode.
Right, but I think that those changes are cool because for the reasoning that I said earlier in the episode. But like this major moment here that we don't that we don't get any kind of hint towards happening in the webtoon is like a way bigger deal to me because like did those left out fight scenes make you think about what the future? Like, did any of those moments make you like think about what the future of the story was going to be like?
That's
like
great.
Maybe in regard to like what other scenes are they going to take out? But like a Shinsu explosion like this and the dialogue that we get saying that he became Shinsu itself is major for the entire plot of the story. Out fight scenes,
but at the same time, really you could say the same thing about the reveal of Rachel being there early. Yeah, was the same thing for season 1.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like you've had big reveals come in before. So I mean,
but we don't have this reveal at all in the web.
This
is completely new and unique to the anime.
So
it's a way different situation.
So my question is, what do you think the Shinsu explosion happened? So what do you think is going to change so drastically in the story?
The people because it's going to create more non-canon moments, like I was saying earlier. Because obviously, why wouldn't it? If it doesn't create more, because people have to react to this moment.
I'm thinking one episode with maybe a minute of dialogue at the most.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's still a big deal because it's Shinsu related.
Now, here's the thing. We might get a flashback to it when we get to the part of the game. But again, I think we're going to get kind of like JD said, we're going to get into while he's, what he's doing during this time, or, what status he's in or whatever the fuck. These guys are busy. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is going on. And again, the other parts of the show are moving. We'll see that we'll get some lo-fi, hopefully, and you know what I'm saying, some more practice and some little bit or whatever, but we'll probably get all that side stuff. And I don't think it'll probably be touched on. Now, I also was gonna ask, do you think that this is more of a big deal, I guess, in the community because it is one of the first kind of veers they've had in this last 5 episodes?
Significant veer.
Yeah, I can't really. I can't remember anything too super huge that that we've been honing in on besides this. Yeah,
besides the Rachel realization in the last episode coming early.
Noxie, you say that this is a big veer. Do you think it's a big veer compared to what they originally said?
What do you mean?
Originally, when Leroy's talking to himself, he says that he's never seen something like this with Shinsu moving on its own.
So that's the difference in the
That's the difference. Okay. So with that in mind,
that's more implied with that falls more in line with what he said when Bam didn't get pushed back by the wall. You know what I mean? But that's a completely different situation than this man is actually Shinsu itself. You know what I mean? Like even though that's clearly a mistranslation, maybe on behalf of Crunchyroll or whatever. I don't fucking know.
It could be,
but because Crunchyroll misses very often in its translations. You know what I mean? And this is a really big deal. So I feel like they purposely did this one for whatever reason that they did until we get information later that contradicts that idea. But saying we already know that Bam's a monster because we got Lororo's dialogue on that. So him using Shinsu in a way that they're not used to falls in line with that statement. Him being Shinsu incarnate is a way different situation.
Yeah, but you got to look at it as Lororo is the only person who knows that. he was watching from his lighthouse. Everybody else is covering their eyes. They don't know what's going on. They haven't.
Now everyone else looks at Bam as a regular because they don't know.
They don't know
regular.
yet.
Right.
And two, when LaRue uses his Shinsu, Kun makes a fucking comment like someone using Shinsu was hiding among us. You know what I mean? So like this is like that was exciting and that was new for the contestants involved. Bam of all people, you know what I mean, who has clearly stated multiple times that he has no idea what the fuck this tower is about to multiple people, is now using Shinsu. That has to create non-canon conversations and dialogue from people who witnessed him doing it in later episodes.
Well, this could also this could also fall into the fact of two different things of we don't know what original dialogue could be. This could have been a mistranslation from our original understanding that we got, and this is what he actually meant, or it could be vice versa. Because really even if you looking at it that way, when he says like, I've never seen the Shinsu do this move on its own, it still kind of implies a little bit that Bam didn't control it, it just did it. Even in this thing, like even what we see here, he didn't control this, he just did it.
Even the Black March said like you're out of control.
So it's more like
and there's that whole entire Black March moment
that's 100% original.
There's that entire Black March moment that like that everyone is a witness of. Or wait, no, because he's stopped.
She stopped time, and then
she stopped
time.
You're right. All right. Anyway.
All right. I just want to say one thing. Is nobody going to mention that Urek? Are we not gonna?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
he is mentioned.
But I'm just saying, are we just not gonna mention the goat here? You're right.
I'm not gonna mention him because I don't know who. I just know his name.
I'm not
the black dude.
You haven't even seen.
He hasn't seen Urek yet.
I've seen the symbol.
That's a bad man.
But I don't know what he's. So I was like, okay, cool. This guy that I've heard about.
Yeah. Okay.
He's mentioned.
You and Trent haven't really met Urek yet. Okay.
I'll tell you this: the way they're handling season 1, I'm excited to see. And again, I'm very, very like at the peak of season, or at the beginning rather of season 2. But I'm already excited to see what they decide to do for season 2 because this is definitely getting continued. In my opinion,
wild. This shit is wild as shit.
Definitely. But all right. Anybody have anything else left to say on the episode?
I'm good. I'm just very happy with the way that this adaptation is going, regardless of the criticisms. This is one of the better adaptations that I've seen in the last couple years. So I'm very excited for it, and it should be this way. This is a really good
go ahead, sleep
for all of y'all.
Yeah.
Did anybody else at all feel a little awkward when Bam literally was about to kill her?
Kill who?
Oh yeah.
He grabs the Black March and pulls it up. Full horse style and is about to kill her.
I'm pretty sure that didn't happen in the web.
That's the one thing he's completely freaked out by. And he was totally about to just kill her.
Right.
Was anyone else just like,
I feel like he just anime onlys that have been that they knew would complain about like how like lame his character was.
That's probably what I'm guessing.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we need to have him actually look like he's about to go crazy real quick on his own, so that people can stop fucking saying he's a sin.
Well, I'm guessing it was a response to anything else where he has the flashback where Rachel says, if someone hurt me, what would you do?
Yeah,
and this is showing an exact reaction to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you see Blaine's questionnaire basically saying how do you think the anime onlys react to the fact that now basically all they know of Rachel here is the fact that she's back and she's defending Bam.
They're gonna be like, oh yeah, Rachel's great.
Exactly how I felt when
they'll all be for her.
Yeah, Rachel's the shit. Look at her protecting Bam.
The anime is doing a great job of like leading into that final climactic moment of
Seraph like, no, stop.
We can't forget.
The anime is doing a great job of making you feel like Rachel is great.
I don't know, because you can't forget in the
last
episode.
You feel like she's great.
In the last episode.
It's doing a great job, by the way, because like
that's what I'm saying.
I was like, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna change my mind about it. And then I go back into the webtoon. I'm like, never mind.
This season, bro, this end of this season is going to slap anime onlys.
I don't know.
So hard, much harder.
If they're paying attention, it shouldn't because in the last episode, Dorsey asked Rachel, he's like, is it okay if I kill everybody? And Rachel looks at Bam, she's like, yeah, go ahead and kill them all.
That's true. That's a good point.
That was right there in the last episode. So I'm like,
good job, JC.
I'm just glad I saw the queen in action too.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, hey.
Let's go.
Nah, Yuri all day.
Oh, yeah, hey, JC,
Yuri.
that's one thing I'm with you on. Yuri's
Nothing wrong with Yuri. She a close second. But
Oh boy.
And Dorsey is 15. Calm down, JD.
hey, we get a time skip, sir.
Yes, but right now.
We get a 5-year time. We get a 5-year time. She is
talking about everybody. What are you talking about? It's American. Everyone was already aged up. They're all over 17, 18. It's all good.
Thank you. All right, but that's gonna do it for tonight's episode of the Webtoon Anime. Appreciate everyone stopping by, rocking with us. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. This is for you people. Also subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitch, and follow us on Twitter. And
subscribe to all of our individual YouTube channels, which will be in the description of the YouTube video that comes up. The people that showed up late to the Twitch stream, have no fear. This is going on YouTube. You can watch the entire conversation from start to finish in about an hour or two, or I don't know how long it takes. But
it'll be up tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow
at least. Yeah,
it'll at least be up tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and I guess that's it, y'all. That's it. Peace.
Have a good one, you guys.
See ya.